Dealership lots across America have become automotive graveyards. While manufacturers boast about record sales in their earnings calls, the reality is brutal. Certain models are sitting unsold for 300, 400, even 500 plus days, while desperate salespeople can't give them away at any price. This isn't just another slow month, it's a full-blown inventory crisis that threatens entire brands. Market day supply data reveals models so toxic that dealers are slashing $20,000, $30,000, even $40,000 off MSRP and still can't get a single test drive. What's truly shocking? We're not talking about budget econoboxes. We're seeing $160,000 luxury flagships and brand new EVs from prestigious brands becoming invisible to consumers. The numbers don't lie, and they reveal a market rejection so severe it's sending panic through corporate boardrooms. We have i7s that have been sitting for over 300 days. Confesses David, a BMW salesperson from Chicago who asked to remain anonymous. We've slashed $15,000 off MSRP and still can't get people to test drive them. It's like they've become radioactive. What automotive media won't tell you is that this inventory disaster completely shatters conventional wisdom about which vehicles sell and which don't. Luxury brands with bulletproof reputations are watching their flagships collect dust while their CEOs keep promising strong demand to Wall Street. Even more disturbing, several of these rotting models were specifically designed based on extensive market research and focus groups, vehicles that looked perfect on paper but are being universally rejected in showrooms. The disconnect between what manufacturers think people want and what they'll actually spend money on has never been more dramatic. But what you're about to see about BMW will make your jaw drop. The German luxury maker appears an astounding 4 times on this list, including their flagship sedan, electric flagship, and performance halo vehicle. This isn't just a few slow sellers, it's a brand in full crisis mode with $400 million in unsold inventory sitting on American lots right now. If you're currently shopping for a new car, pay attention. The vehicles rotting on dealer lots today are tomorrow's depreciation disasters, and you could end up underwater the moment you drive off the lot. Which cars are dealers absolutely unable to sell in 2025, and why are consumers rejecting them so completely? To answer this, we've analyzed comprehensive inventory data from CarEdge spanning thousands of dealerships nationwide, revealing exactly which vehicles buyers are actively avoiding despite massive discounts. This isn't opinion. It's hard data showing how long each model sits on dealer lots before selling. When a vehicle has a 300-plus day supply, it means dealerships have enough inventory to last 300-plus days at current sales rates. For context, a healthy inventory is 45 to 60 days. Anything over 200 is catastrophic. Let's count down the 10 vehicles that dealers simply cannot give away in 2025, working our way to the absolute worst inventory disaster currently plaguing American showrooms. Number 10. Jaguar XF. 315 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Remember when Jaguar sedans were the height of British luxury? That era is dead. With 701 XF units gathering dust nationwide and a staggering 315-day market supply, dealers are sitting on nearly a full year's worth of unsold inventory. The XF's problem isn't just its $58,500 price tag, it's that Jaguar already announced they're going all electric, effectively orphaning this model. Would you commit to a vehicle from a brand that's already announced its abandonment? Buyers certainly aren't. We've had the same 3 XFs sitting in the showroom since last summer, admits a Jaguar dealer in Florida. We've cut $12,000 off sticker and still can't get people to consider them. For current XF owners, this market rejection translates directly to financial pain. These vehicles are depreciating at nearly twice the rate of comparable luxury sedans, paying for premium British luxury, but getting economy car value retention. Number 9. Alfa Romeo Giulia. 323 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Alfa Romeo's triumphant return to America has turned into a humiliating retreat. With over 1,056 Giulias sitting unsold and a 323-day supply, this Italian sports sedan isn't just struggling, it's being completely ignored by the market. The Giulia might drive like a dream, but its reputation for leaving owners stranded has proven impossible to overcome. When you're dropping $55,000 plus on a luxury car, probably won't break down, isn't exactly a compelling selling point. Making matters worse, Alfa just killed off the high-performance Quadrifoglio version in North America, the automotive equivalent of waving a white flag. When manufacturers pull their halo models, it's usually the first step toward exiting the market entirely. "I've got Giulias I've been trying to sell for over 14 months, reveals a dealer in California. Even with $15,000 discounts, people test drive them, love them, then buy something Japanese or German instead. Number 8. Dodge Hornet, 327 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Dodge's attempt to enter the compact crossover market has crashed and burned spectacularly. With an unbelievable 12,780 Hornets gathering dust nationwide and a 327-day supply, this model isn't just failing, it's a financial disaster for Stellantis. The Hornet's transparent relationship to the Alfa Romeo Tonale fooled exactly no one. Consumers immediately recognized this as a rebadging exercise and asked the obvious question, why buy a Dodge version of an Alfa nobody wants? The desperation is palpable. Dealers are now selling 2023 Hornets, vehicles approaching 2 years old, for under $25,000. That's a compact crossover with 268 horsepower selling for Corolla money, and they still can't move them. "We've got Hornets priced below our cost just to get rid of them," admits a Dodge dealer in Texas. At this point, it's about cutting losses, not making profit. Number 7. Jeep Grand Wagoneer L, 336 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Jeep's attempt to sell $110,000 luxury SUVs has failed spectacularly. With a 336-day supply, the Grand Wagoneer L has become the automotive equivalent of an overpriced mansion that's been on the market too long. Everyone assumes something must be wrong with it. The problem? A Jeep badge on a six-figure vehicle simply doesn't compute for luxury buyers. When you're shopping in Escalade and Navigator territory, that trail-rated heritage suddenly becomes a liability, not an asset. Adding insult to injury, the Grand Wagoneer L gulps fuel at 14 miles per gallon combined, costing owners nearly $4,000 annually in gasoline alone. Even wealthy buyers have limits to their tolerance for stopping at gas stations. "We've had the same Grand Wagoneers on our lot for over a year," says a Jeep dealer in Ohio. "They're beautiful vehicles, but at $110,000, our customers just laugh and buy a German SUV instead." Number 6. Mini Cooper Hardtop 4-door, 337 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Mini's attempt to make their iconic small car more practical has backfired completely. With 291 units gathering dust nationwide and a 337-day supply, the 4-door hardtop has proven that adding doors doesn't solve Mini's fundamental problem. Americans have moved on. At $37,600, the Mini has priced itself directly against proper compact SUVs that offer exponentially more space, practicality, and ground clearance. This value proposition makes about as much sense as paying penthouse prices for a studio apartment. The BMW parentage means repair cost rival luxury brands without the corresponding prestige. One owner reported a $1,200 bill for a minor electrical issue that would have cost $300 on a Japanese competitor. The 4-door was supposed to appeal to practical buyers, says a Mini dealer in Washington, but practical buyers don't spend $40,000 on tiny cars with expensive repair bills. 5. BMW 5 Series, 387 days supply. Why no one's buying it? The car that once defined the sports sedan category has become a showroom ornament. With over 3,650 units sitting unsold and a staggering 387-day supply, the current 5 Series is experiencing a market rejection that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. BMW's decision to prioritize tech gadgetry and comfort over driving dynamics has alienated the enthusiasts who built the brand while failing to attract Mercedes and Lexus buyers who prefer actual luxury. It's a car without an audience. Recent recalls affecting both steering and braking systems have killed what little momentum remained. Nothing says premium German engineering quite like safety-critical systems failing on a $65,500 vehicle. The 5 Series used to be our bread and butter, laments a BMW dealer in New York. Now I've got dozens sitting on the lot while customers ask to see X3s and X5s instead. Number 4. BMW 7 Series. 517 days supply. Why no one's buying it? BMW's flagship sedan has become a showroom albatross, with 2,830 units gathering dust nationwide and a catastrophic 517-day supply. That's nearly a year and a half worth of inventory at current sales rates, a level of rejection that questions the model's very existence. At $117,635, the 7 Series competes in a segment where design and prestige are everything. Unfortunately, its controversial styling, featuring a front end that looks like it's trying to inhale small children, has proven too much even for loyal BMW customers. The luxury sedan market is collapsing as buyers shift to SUVs, but the 7 Series is falling faster than the segment itself. Even Mercedes S-Class customers, who historically cross-shop BMW, are avoiding the 7 Series like it carries a communicable disease. We've slashed over $25,000 off MSRP on some 7 Series models, reveals a BMW dealer in Illinois, and we still can't get serious offers. They're becoming lot art at this point. Number 3. Fiat 500e. 558 days supply. Why no one's buying it? Fiat's tiny EV is the single most rejected electric car in America right now. With a staggering 558-day supply and 1,140 units sitting unsold, it's not just underperforming, it's invisible to consumers despite desperate price cuts. At $34,000, the 500e offers half the space, half the range, and double the anxiety of comparably priced EVs. In a market where electric crossovers with 300-plus mile ranges are becoming standard, this tiny Italian with 149 miles of range feels like a technological relic. Size is another fatal flaw. At just 142 inches long, driving the 500e on American highways feels like navigating a golf cart through a monster truck rally. Consumers aren't willing to risk their lives for Italian style. We've got 500 ES that have been sitting so long they need their tires inflated every month, says a Fiat dealer in California. We've cut prices to the bone, and people still won't even test drive them. Number 2. BMW XM. 544 days supply. Why no one's buying it? BMW's attempt to create a performance flagship SUV has failed so spectacularly, it's become a case study in product planning malpractice. With a 544-day supply, approaching 18 months of inventory, the XM isn't just struggling, it's being actively avoided by luxury buyers. At $159,000, the XM was supposed to showcase BMW's performance capabilities. Instead, it showcases everything wrong with current BMW design. Oversized kidney grills that look like nostrils on steroids, bizarre proportions, and styling that screams, "I have more money than taste." BMW sold just 307 XMs nationwide in Q3 2024. Fewer units than some individual dealers sell of the X5 in a month. These are production numbers that would justify immediate discontinuation for most vehicles. The XM is BMW's version of a midlife crisis in sheet metal, says a former BMW designer who asked to remain anonymous. It's what happens when executives override designers and demand something youthful and aggressive. Number 1. BMW i7. 578 days supply. Why no one's buying it? BMW's electric flagship has achieved the dubious honor of becoming America's most rejected new vehicle. With a truly catastrophic 578-day supply, approaching 2 full years of inventory, and 1,650 units gathering dust nationwide, the i7 represents a complete failure of product planning, pricing, and market understanding. Priced at $128,648, the i7 delivers less range than Tesla and Lucid alternatives, costing tens of thousands less. Its 318-mile EPA rating feels particularly inadequate when buyers spending this much expect to be on the cutting edge, not playing catch-up. The i7's design is proven particularly polarizing, with a front end that looks like it's trying to swallow its competition and an interior that seems designed by committee rather than with cohesive vision. "We can't give these away," admits a BMW dealer executive who requested anonymity. "We've got i7s that have been on the lot so long their warranties are expiring before they're sold. When we offer $30,000 discounts and still can't generate interest, that tells you everything you need to know." The scariest part? These aren't concept cars or failed experiments. These are supposed to be the flagships, the future, but instead of driving off lots, they're sinking companies. Are you currently shopping for a new car? Did any of these models shock you? Or worse, did you already buy one? Drop a comment below. Your story might save someone else from making an expensive mistake. This inventory crisis isn't just about unsold cars, it's about the potential collapse of entire brands and the thousands of jobs that depend on them. The financial bloodbath is already beginning. For dealers, these inventory disasters are financial black holes. Each unsold vehicle costs approximately $28 per day in floor plan financing, the loans dealers use to purchase inventory from manufacturers. A BMW 7 Series sitting for 517 days costs the dealer over $14,000 just in carrying costs, not counting depreciation. Multiply that by thousands of vehicles, and you're looking at an industry-wide catastrophe. BMW's situation is particularly dire, with 4 models, including their flagship sedan, electric flagship, and performance halo vehicle, all dying on dealer lots simultaneously. This isn't coincidence, it's systematic failure. Insiders report emergency meetings at BMW headquarters in Munich as executives grapple with the American market's wholesale rejection of their current design direction and product strategy. Stellantis brands appear in full crisis mode, with Fiat, Dodge, Jeep, and Alfa Romeo all posting catastrophic inventory numbers across multiple segments. Industry analysts are now openly questioning whether all current Stellantis brands will survive in the North American market, with several possibly facing the same fate as the recently discontinued Chrysler 300. "We're seeing inventory levels that would have been unthinkable 5 years ago," reveals an industry analyst who consults for multiple major manufacturers. "Some of these vehicles are so overstocked that they'll never sell through normal retail channels. They'll end up in rental fleets at pennies on the dollar or shipped overseas at massive losses." For consumers who already purchased these market-rejected vehicles, the financial consequences are equally severe. Many are discovering their 1- or 2-year-old vehicles are worth 40 to 50% less than what they paid, creating negative equity situations that will haunt their finances for years to come. What makes these inventory failures so revealing is how dramatically they contradict the carefully crafted narratives from automotive executives. While BMW CEO Oliver Zipse tells investors about strong demand for the company's luxury vehicles, the reality on dealer lots shows cars sitting unsold for nearly 2 years, despite desperate discounting. Even more striking is how these failures cut across traditional market segments in ways that completely rewrite conventional wisdom. The myth that luxury vehicles are immune to market pressures has been thoroughly debunked, with premium models from prestigious brands sitting longer than mainstream vehicles costing a fraction of the price. The data reveals a particularly alarming trend for electric vehicles, with several models appearing among the slowest-selling vehicles nationwide, despite manufacturers investing billions in EV development. This suggests the electric transition is facing far more consumer resistance than publicly acknowledged, with buyers increasingly unwilling to accept the compromises and uncertainties of current electric offerings. But nothing is more shocking than BMW's complete dominance of this list, with 4 models, including their flagship sedan, electric flagship, and performance halo vehicle, all experiencing catastrophic inventory buildup simultaneously. This isn't just a few slow sellers, it's a brand identity crisis playing out in real time, with potentially existential consequences for a manufacturer that once defined driving excellence. For consumers, the message couldn't be clearer. Market day supply represents the most honest metric in the automotive industry. When vehicles consistently fail to sell despite manufacturer hype and desperate dealer discounting, it indicates fundamental problems that no amount of marketing can overcome. These aren't just cars consumers aren't buying. They're cars consumers are actively avoiding after seeing, driving, or researching them. The automotive industry is experiencing its most dramatic market correction in decades, and the casualties are piling up on dealer lots across America. The scariest part? These aren't concept cars or failed experiments. These are supposed to be the flagships, the future, but instead of driving off lots, they're sinking companies. We've exposed the 10 vehicles that dealers simply cannot sell in 2025. Models sitting unsold for 315 to 578 days, while price cuts of $20,000, $30,000, even $40,000 fail to generate buyer interest. The BMW i7 tops our list with a staggering 578-day supply, meaning it would take nearly 2 years to sell existing inventory even if production stopped entirely. The BMW XM follows at 544 days, representing a devastating rejection of the brand's $159,000 performance flagship. The Fiat 500e, 558 days, BMW 7 Series, 517 days, and BMW 5 Series, 387 days, round out the top 5, each representing significant financial burdens for their manufacturers and dealers as they sit ignored by consumers despite increasingly desperate discounting. For shoppers, this inventory crisis creates unprecedented buying leverage if you're brave enough to purchase vehicles the market has so thoroughly rejected. Just remember that the same factors driving these models' poor sales will likely impact your ownership experience and eventual resale value. So before you drop $60,000 plus on a car this year, ask yourself, do you want to buy transportation or a future recall? Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which of these shocked you the most? Or worse, did you already buy one? Let us know. You're not alone.